Hey everybody, good morning. It's Justice for Comics. It is early Saturday morning, not even 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here in Tampa, Florida. Um, so most of you will watch this in replay, and that's fine. I don't really have time to get into any chat discussions or any live type stuff. So yeah, just figured I didn't have time later today to do this, so might as well get it done early in the morning. Um, Yeah, CBSI. I'm not really liking these hot 10 lists that they've been offering lately. It's, some of the books are just, even the writer, good old Ben Stein, doesn't seem to like them either. So I don't know why he puts them on the list. It's a little crazy to me. But whatever. I'm just going to report it. I think the cover price, it seems like the cover price top 10 lists are becoming more relevant, far more relevant than CBSI. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this CBSI hot 10 lists, but uh, I may end up stop doing them just because I don't think they're quite as good as cover prices. All right, let's take a look here. We'll start off with honorable mentions first. Foxhole number 4 got a Kirby cover. I like it. It's kind of a cool cover. You got the camouflage soldier. Um, well, they want you to know it's Foxhole. Big old letters there. 2.0 just sold for $3,300. Um, Overstreet price guide in that grade has it for $32. So, yeah, if anybody, I can't understand why anybody would buy an Overstreet price guide, unless you really want to, unless you're looking for those rare books that just never show up on eBay or any auctions, and you want to see what reported values were in the past. That's pretty much the only reason to own an Overstreet price guide, and it's mostly for kind of rare golden age books, obscure underground books, things like that. Anything modern for sure, I would just go on eBay and check the last 3 to 6 months sales prices that have sold. That's it. That's your price guide. That's why you don't see any monthly price guides anymore. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Wizard, and I think even before Wizard, there was a couple different monthly produced price guides, and obviously eBay destroyed all of that. It made that irrelevant. The other one here is, well, by the way, on that Foxhole, it's funny. Ben says, "Well, yes, I am. While I am not a fan of Kirby art, this one is a home run." Yeah, in general, I'm not a big fan of Kirby art. I think Kirby's important, massively important to the comic book history and industry and all that. But um, he drew fast, man. And he didn't care about it looking the prettiest. Like today, everything's pretty, right? You got some female artists that are just producing like unbelievably master works of just beauty, just unbelievable covers. So to see kind of a cover from the 1940s or 50s that kind of sticks out right when you look at it, that's why these covers are going for big money. The other one here is Monkey Prince number 10, going for $15. Yeah, it's kind of a cool cover. First appearance, I guess, on the cover. I don't know who the first appearance is of, but Ben says strange price increase, but in this current market, any increase is a good increase. Okay, well said. All right, number 10 is Batgirls number 18, Robbie Rodriguez 1 in 25 variant, going for $40. Um, I guess it's a graffiti type cover using the title of the book. Okay. I guess that's a cool artistic part of the book, the cover. It's kind of neat. It's a 1 in 25, and yeah, I'm sure there's not a whole lot of people collecting Batgirls. So most shops are not going to order 25 copies of a book that doesn't sell 5. So, unless the owner of the shop saw this cover in the solicitations and said, "Yeah, I'd like to get that cover. I'll order 25 copies." Most shops are not going to get this cover. So if you're going down to your local comic book shop thinking, "Oh, I'll pick this up," not likely. None of the shops near me are going to order 25 copies of the Batgirls. That doesn't, I'm literally, that doesn't sell 5 copies a month at most shops. So yeah, I mean, Becky Cloonan, bad writing, art is nothing spectacular. No reason to buy that book, but it's a hot cover at the moment and it's not an easy book to find. So that's going to create demand and there's not a lot of supply out there. So there you go. That's why it's 40 bucks. Number 9, Ambassadors number 2. Mark Miller. This is a second print. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The second print just came out. And people just realized that the first print isn't easy to find. Selling for as much as the first issue. I haven't read this, so I can't comment as far as the writing goes. Mark Miller, he's kind of hit and miss. Most of the time, his books don't do anything. I have many, many examples that I can cite. Jupiter Legacy being one of them. It even had a Netflix show that completely bombed and didn't even get a second season. So, is it a hot book now? Maybe later it won't be. I don't know. I would say if you can find this for cover price, pick it up. But would I chase it for $25, $30? Not for a Mark Miller book. Sometimes, again, like I said, sometimes his writing is decent, and sometimes it's just mediocre. It's kind of hit and miss with him. I still, overall, I think he's written some good books in the past, so I won't say anything bad about that. Number 8 on the list is Man Goat and Bunny Man 2023 special number 1, the Paul Green 1 in 10 variant. Again, no one's buying this book. Most shops are not ordering 2 copies, let alone 10. And you've got a Dr. Seuss homage. This is not the first of these. I mean, if you go back and look, there's been multiple Bunny Man, this Man Goat, Dr. Seuss homages in the past. I think a couple of them have done okay as far as pricing, but yeah, I would say if you pick this up for 10 bucks and it's now selling for 30 to 40, I would probably sell it. Especially if you can get over $40 for it, I would sell it. Long term, I think this goes way back down to 10 bucks. Number 7 is Captain Marvel. Number 5, the John Tyler Christopher 1 in 15 variant. Again, I'm not in love with a lot of them. I mean, none of these books are, so far, this list is terrible. This is probably my least favorite cover by John Tyler Christopher. He's done so many better covers than this. I mean, is there artistic ability in this guy? It looks like a 5-year-old drew this. I don't know. $100 raw and $150 for a 9.8. First of all, why would you pay $100 for a raw book when you can pay $50 more for a 9.8? The 9.8 should be definitely going for more than $150 if the raw is going for $100. That's mispriced. That should be like $250 to $300. This is a cool design as well. No, it's not. What's cool about it? It looks terrible. I tell you, Ben Stein and I do not have the same tastes. Whatever he thinks is good, I think is shit. And probably whatever I think is good, he probably thinks is shit. So yeah, we probably would not get along when it comes to picking covers. It's amazing. Number 6, Spider-Man number 7, second print. Roberto Ramos, 1 in 25 variant. Going for $40 to $50. Yeah, it's gone. It's sold for more than that. I've seen sales in the $70 to $75 range, so he's not exactly correct on this. But there are more copies out there of this book than you would think. There was a pretty good advance warning that this book was coming out for FOC, so there was a lot of retailers that ordered pretty heavily on this book. I picked them up for around $25 to $30. I got 2 copies of it, which is nice. My view is Spider-Boy. 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, maybe something comes of it more, where it's more like a Miles Morales type thing. So I would just stick these away in a box in your collection and forget you own them. Don't worry about what the price is doing next month or 6 months from now. I would literally buy and hold these and wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's my advice to you on Spider Boy. If you want to do, if you want to flip. I mean, hopefully you bought it for 25, and if you can sell it for 50, that's a good flipping action there. But my advice is, if you're going to buy this book, or certainly the first print spoiler variant, just stick them away in a box and hold them long term. That's my advice on that. Number 5 is Red Room Crypto Killers. Number 1, a Peach Momoko 1 in 15 variant. Going for about double ratio, $30 to $35. Ben says Peach is still hanging around. She keeps doing these Red Room covers, and they seem to do well. Yeah, it's not my favorite cover by her. Yeah, good for her. I mean, tell you, she's making money. She's very fast. She'd probably drew this cover in under 10 minutes. So she's literally printing money, and she does a bunch of covers for Marvel. She's got an exclusive deal with Marvel. Some of her covers I really like. Some of them I don't care for. But good on her. She's making money, and she's not just doing Marvel covers, which is nice. All right, number 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog, number 60. This is the Natalie Fordrain. Is it Fordrain? Fordrain. Interesting last name. I wonder what's the origin of that. Scandinavian, maybe? I don't know. So 1 in 10 variant, going for about $20. Yeah, there's a fan. There's excuse me. There's definitely a fan base for Sonic the Hedgehog, and these incentive variants tend to do well, especially anything like 1 in 25 or 1 in 50, and it's kind of has a cool cover. Those variants tend to have long-term appeal to collectors. So yeah, if you can find one around ratio, and you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, pick it up, stick it in your collection. There you go. Number 3, Superman. Number 4, purple foil. Only 1,000 of these printed, going for $50. I guess this is the back. The symbol's backwards, so this is indicating the Bizarro. I'm assuming Bizarro Superman is in this issue. I'm not too sure, but doesn't Bizarro Superman wear purple? I think so. Yeah, I'm not into these foil Superman. They've made how many of them? There's red foil. There's, I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Blue foil. If this is your thing, pick it up, but definitely not something I would collect. I'd rather put that money towards something else, a first appearance of a character, something like that. Number 2 is Silk number 1, the David Nakayama 1 in 25 variant. Yeah, it's a nice cover. I wish I'd picked this up. I didn't. I like it. Was $40 to $50 a couple weeks ago. Now $100 to $125. Ben says it's still a number 1, so wouldn't think that the print run would be super small, but the price continues to go up anyways. Yeah, maybe in a few months the price may settle back down. I don't think it's going to go down to $25 or $30 again, but it might drop back down to $50 to $65, maybe $75. So if you want to wait a little while, let the steam cool off of this, and let it settle down, and maybe you can get it a little cheaper. If this is one that you definitely want to pick up, try to see if you can pick it up cheaper. Just be patient on that one. Number 1 is Jabba's Palace number 1, the second print Alex Maleev 1 in 25 variant. Yeah, this is definitely a hard book to find. There was one copy at Midtown, and I could have easily grabbed it, but I thought, man, $75 for a 1 in 25, that seems way too. Obviously, I regret not buying it. That was a good deal. now that it's going for much more than that, 175 or more. Maybe this will settle back down a little lower. I don't think it's going to go below $100 though. So maybe the cheapest you'll see this drop down to is maybe 100 to 125. Um, it's there's very few out there. I looked on eBay. There's only 2 or 3 listings. Most of the online shops that I frequent that do carry incentive variants, most of them did not have this. So Midtown had 1 copy. I think Graham Crackers had maybe 1, and that's about it. I really didn't see anybody else. Golden Apple didn't have any. There was a lot of websites that didn't have this incentive. So if you were able to get one, good on you for that. I think this is going to hold value for a while just because it's very scarce. So that's the one thing Ben's not mentioning here is I don't think he realizes at all how scarce this book is. It's extremely hard to find. Um, I tell people not to trust print runs, and then he says, "Yeah, there's a trade dress. It's a 1 in 25 trade dress. That one still sells for $75 to $80. So even the 1 in 25 goes for way more than ratio on this. So it's a cool looking image. Malieb did a great job on the cover. It's definitely desirable. And is the Virgin worth it? Worth that? I mean, I think it definitely is. It's a very hard book to find. I mean, show me any evidence that this book is plentiful. I would love to see it. But I think this is easily one of the hardest books to find so far in 2023. There's very few of them out there. So that is your list. Again, I really don't like CBSI lately. I don't know. I don't know if Ben Stein comes up with this or if he's saying, well, this is what's going on in the market. I don't know. It's just an odd list. Like some of these books, does anyone really care about a Captain Marvel rocket cover? I mean, yeah, I guess Guardians of the Galaxy just came out, but this cover is terrible. Anybody that pays $100 for that, I think, is an absolute fool. I don't know. I just don't like the list. I think it's pretty terrible, but I thought I would cover it anyways. I think I'm going to start covering cover prices list more. I think they're far more relevant. Uh, Ben just picks the weirdest things to put on the list. I don't know why he does it. Who knows? He doesn't reach out to me, so who knows what the hell he's doing. All right, guys, that's what I had for you. There's your hot 10 list. Steaming pile of crap list, in my opinion, for the week ending May 26th. Next week, hopefully it'll be a better list. I don't know. I'll give it a try a few more times, and I think I may just start switching to cover price. I did get a cover price email, movers and shakers, the other day, so I may do a live stream later this weekend highlighting that list. Yeah, be a good topic of conversation anyways. All right, guys, hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and share my videos. As you well know, YouTube suppresses my channel because I don't fit into the algorithm that they like. That's just the way it goes. So I've been stuck at that 800 subscriber level for a long time. My Instagram's doing well, though. Apparently Facebook likes me better than YouTube or Google. I'm up to like 1,520 Instagram followers now, so definitely have a decent amount of people following me on Instagram. So make sure you're following me as well on Instagram. I post pretty much every day. I post something, usually books that come in the mail, cool looking covers, anything that I think looks interesting to take a look at, I will post on my Instagram channel, sometimes a video. So make sure you're subscribed to that. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll see you guys soon.